Hello everyone. I was trying to write a script for my next video, and the topic that was really interesting me was what kind of cultural anchor does Gen A have? On the surface, it might be a simple answer. It's that they all had an iPad. And although that is a shared, that's a common aspect of this generation's upbringing, it is not a cultural signifier, a headstone for this generation. Because while they all have access to this thing, it doesn't mean that their experience living with it is the same. They were all fed infinite different apps, games, videos, YouTube, endless amount of content from the moment they could hold anything in their hands. Little did their parents then knew that growing up, giving your kid an iPad would lead into this pipeline of Angry Birds and YouTube for Kids to Instagram and TikTok infinite scrolling. I was having a really hard time with making this script sound positive or have some kind of good message, beautiful message. So I figured I would just pick up the camera and talk about my thoughts on it. I had the luck of having a physical, we all had the luck of having the ability to go outside and play with our peers, like other kids. And having the ability to experience the physical world, it just makes me sad that you'll see on TV like Jimmy Fallon and other talk show hosts try to have a segment on their show about the newest trend on TikTok, about whatever the young kids are saying. We had the brain rot stuff. Thankfully that's been dying down, but when we had the brain rot stuff, Jimmy Fallon would try to talk about it and it just doesn't stick. But the joke was twofold, because while the older generations wouldn't get it, or the joke was that they didn't get it, so they were kind of laughing at themselves. The other side of it was that those generations, the older generations, are being infected by the same smoke that's seeping into our daily lives. I'm seeing even my grandma scroll on Facebook, and all she had was a TV, and she would just watch her TV shows. But sometimes there's often times where she would rather go on Reels or Facebook rather. And I've seen other people out in coffee shops and whatnot, they're scrolling, older people, and they're just scrolling, and it wasn't like that, obviously. what I'm trying to get at is what can we do? Because I've seen countless of videos on TikTok and Instagram talking about how we've lost touch with reality. And that's what I'm trying to say is that we're all just talking about it, talking about the same problem. We're just talking about it, and I don't know that I've heard of a good solution other than put your phone down, put your phone away, reduce your usage. Because, well, that's a great idea. It's lacking the actual real solution that needs to be talked about, which would be something along the lines of do what you used to do, which is go out and connect physically with people. Yes, it might sound simple, but it just seems like it's the hardest thing ever, because it seems like we'll never go back to that. It seems like it's impossible to ever go back to no relying on your phone to derive meaning. That's part of the answer, is we have to find other ways to get meaning. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm kind of just, doing what I started this channel for, which was me trying to express myself better in front of the camera. I'm not talking to anybody right now. I'm just talking to the camera. No one's gonna watch this video, so it doesn't matter. But we're all pretending anyway, right? I mean, I'm not. I'm really trying to do this. I'm really trying to get better at talking to the camera and expressing myself. How do you solve this? How do you solve this problem of an entire generation being wholly consumed by this unproductive, unanchored, unrealistic lifestyle? Do we make parks more appealing? How do we do that? What do we? Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was an attempt to bring people together, and of course we know how that turned out. We've lost the need to interact with each other on a real-time basis. I think that's where the real problem lies, is that need to actually talk to each other is being sucked away by constantly engaging with our phone, because it's draining us. We're being drained by our interactions with the phone, whether that's scrolling, gaming, texting, whatever it is you do on your phone is draining you. I've been trying to, like I said in my previous video, write down my thoughts more, journal. I've deleted TikTok off my phone. If I need to go on TikTok, I'll have to open up my computer and do it there. But thankfully, I don't know if I need to. Especially with what just happened with the buyout, or the completion of the buyout from Oracle. We'll see how TikTok evolves. I don't know if it'll be fine, but I don't think it'll ever be how it used to be. I might be wrong, but time will tell. I want to stay hopeful about the latest generation and the new one, because it's not like we haven't gone through rapid changes in our cultural system. The other thing that I see often is how this is just the end stage of capitalism. How do you have to change the system, because if Facebook finds it profitable to tweak the algorithm to your liking because they know that you, your friends, your mom, your family, someone will buy something from an ad, well, they're gonna make sure that that algorithm will serve you the things that are most likely that you will like and engage with. Yeah, I'm not so sure how we fix this. I don't know that I'm not 100% sure that we need to fix it either, because we are a resilient species, and we've historically we've survived disasters that threatened our well-being. I think we'll survive the algorithmic takeover of our lives, because the more you push humans to an extreme, the more extreme they will react. And so making the AI that feeds your algorithm as good as possible will one day have the exact opposite effect of what you're trying to get. What I mean by that is, one day we'll wake up and a sudden shift will happen. We'll realize what they've done to us and get up and do something. I don't know when that will happen or how. I just know that there's one saying: there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And those weeks where decades happen, although it might feel like has happened already because of how much we are fed on the news, it hasn't actually happened yet. So it remains to be seen. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Let me know what you think.